seconds away on Studio 5.
Maybe you feel you'll end up with another broken heart.
Tina Campbell suddenly postpones her tour.
Where did that song come from?
But she's still making a stop in Studio 5 for a heart-to-heart talk. And then...
Terrified? I would say I'm terrified, but I am quite as at peace as you are.
500 miles, 2 best friends, 1 wheelchair, make 1 heartfelt movie. Plus...
This is 1-1, we are clear on building 20. Building 20 is green.
A big screen, thank you for your service. Studio 5 starts now. And welcome to Studio 5. We're standing by to bring you our heart-to-heart with Tina Campbell in just a moment. But first, before we get to that, let's dive into this week's countdown of the best headlines in uplifting entertainment news. At number 5, prayers for NBA star and tall man of faith, Jeremy Lin.
Oh boy, Jeremy Lin is down.
The Brooklyn Nets guard will now miss the season because of a ruptured patella tendon of the right knee. But he's taking it well. In this recent Instagram post, Lin says, "Thanks for all the love. For real, I've been blown away with the support. The road to recovery starts now." He ends joking, "Keep the sexy hat." At number 4.
As soon as I got the kidney transplant, my arthritis went away. My lupus, there's about a 3 to 5% chance it'll ever come back.
Actress Selena Gomez opens up about the kidney transplant from her best friend and fellow actress, Francia Reza.
Both Selena and Francia say it's their faith that guided them through this very emotional and private process.
You feel that Francia saved your life?
Because she did. That's it. I guess I got to the point where it was really kind of life or death.
That begins this week's countdown and brings us to our heart-to-heart talk with Tina Campbell, one half of the Mary Mary duo, who's found herself on the receiving end of some harsh criticism for who she chose to support for president in the last election. Take a look.
What I said is, if during your campaign what you said appealed to me and it appealed to my Christian values more than the other candidate, then when it comes down to it, I chose based on my faith. I didn't really like either one of the candidates, if I could just be honest. But it was 2 people that had a chance of winning, and so I voted based on my faith. Do I agree with everything that's being done and being said? No. Do I promote and advocate any of that? No. And do I choose to give any more of my time to anybody who has an opinion about my right to vote and to who I vote for and what behind it? Not at all. So what's the next question?
That is Tina Campbell's final word on her decision to support Donald Trump. But headlines like this one you see here suggest Tina is taking a hard hit after supporting the president. It points out what you see here on Tina's Instagram page. She's had to postpone her It's Still Personal tour only weeks after starting it because of low ticket sales. With all of that, Tina is still pushing ahead with new music, and she's sitting down with us for this week's Studio 5 interview. Now, the new project is called It's Still Personal.
Yes.
So is it still personal?
Man, let me tell you something. The relationship with God, man, I'm so God-possessed, it ain't even funny. I mean, it's so funny that I was like the face of gospel with my sister, with Mary Mary, for countless years. And the truth is, my relationship with God was not as personal as it is now. Now, all of us grow in time. You know, you mature, you become more, you just become more aware. And you just become more about what you're about, or you should at least.
Yeah.
We should be growing up and not down with age, right? I didn't realize how good God was. I didn't realize that not only can He will.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that His love is better than any love I can get from my husband or anybody. I didn't realize that favor with Him is better than being in any kind of relationship with this corporation or this person. The blessings of the Lord that make rich is way better than what stats and Grammys and record sales will ever afford me. I did not fully understand that God is the win. That He ain't the means to the end. He the means and the end. Jesus is the every single thing. And I had to be in a pit to find that out. So my pit was my place of opportunity for me to find God. So it's ridiculously personal. It's gonna stay personal until I breathe my last breath.
I love it. I mean, it's biblical too. We've seen so many folks in the Bible in pits, in caves, you name it, that they had to come out of.
And sometimes we won't completely depend on God. You see, if we got a B plan or a C plan, we'll choose it, right?
Absolutely.
Because faith is a little harder. You can't see what God's going to do. I can see the B plan and C plan, so I'm going to choose that. Thank God I couldn't see my way, so all I could see was Jesus. So I chose the A plan. I'm stuck with it for the rest of my life.
Let's stay with it. One of the things I really love about you, I've always loved Mary and loved both you and your sister, but I felt like I fell in love with you more when you were so transparent about everything you were going through.
I thought we had a good life just like everybody else watching. I thought we was the ideal relationship just like everybody else. And I got to find out in front of the whole goddamn world that all of my life was a lie. And you want me to quote scriptures right now?
I don't want you to
want
quote
me to say
scriptures.
what I don't, you want me to say something that's all positive? I feel negative right now.
I know that.
I just want you to understand that.
I know that.
I never kissed another man. I never went out with another man. I never entertained the wrong conversation. I never cheated in my head. I never did anything. I was 190% committed to that man. And this is what you did every time I was gone. You stole my life away from me. I'm angry. Why you gotta do me like this? I was good to you, man. I was good to you. I was good to you. I don't want him. I don't want him. I don't want him. I don't want him. He don't deserve me.
How important is it for people like yourself, people like us, to not hide our testimony?
Well, I can't tell anybody how they're supposed to go through their struggle. For me, I'm not being hostage to nothing. If I could just be honest, at that point I was like, I don't like not being in control of situations. So the whole idea, what if they find out? What I said, I'm not living my life in fear. So I don't know if it was losing control or taking control. I don't know what it is. I know the Holy Spirit must have inspired that because I didn't know it was going to get worse before it got better. Wow. And if I knew how bad it was going to get, I probably would have withheld it. I would have just probably like, let me get over some of it. Let me work through it. But I didn't want to be hostage. I was like, what if they find out? What? No, just tell everybody. Just be very embarrassed, be humiliated, be ashamed, be broken, whatever it is. Throw it out there and either die in it or get over it and live well. I was just like, we ain't no in between. Yeah. This is what we gonna do. And so I threw it out there and I said to God, I was like, I don't know. Maybe while I'm sharing it, maybe I can help some other woman that's out there going through it, and maybe just all the other people that's going through this, maybe they can help me, I can help them out, so I'm gonna just tell it. It literally, it happened in a moment like that. I was like, I don't want to be hostage. I don't want to be scared, so maybe if I share it. I just said that one day. That's exactly what happened. I've been helping people ever since just because I exposed my busted life that God had a plan to turn around for my good.
But it's too hard to hold on to all of the pain, and it's too hard to relive it over and over again. It's too hard when the memories have control over you. Some say it's too hard to forgive. I say it's too hard not to.
It's too hard not to. Where did that song come from?
I was actually commissioned to write a song for a movie soundtrack. And the song that I wrote, which was this song, it ended up not getting used for the movie. And in that particular movie, there was a guy who was dealing with, countless years later, the demons of his past. And so I asked the Holy Spirit to give me a song, and that's the song that I wrote. And when the song was not used for the movie, I said, God wanted me to convey this message because this is the story of my life. Wow. I realized that it was too hard not to forgive.
And Tina is looking to get back on tour in 2018. We'll keep you posted on the new dates when they're available.
Still to come here on Studio 5.
I'm terrified. I'm terrified, but I am quite as at peace as you are.
500 miles, 2 best friends, and 1 wheelchair.
I would be then freaked out, and then he would be calm. We've never prayed so hard, I think, ever.
The heartfelt story behind the film, I'll Push You.
And welcome back to Studio 5. The countdown of the best headlines and uplifting entertainment news continues right now.
At number 3.
And let's face it, Bo, we're CEO churchgoers at best.
What does that mean?
Christmas and Easter only.
Blackish star Anthony Anderson graces the latest cover of Relevant magazine. The actor and show creator shares his faith, saying, "My faith and belief is what keeps me going."
Oh, woo! All right! Amen! Hallelujah!
Wow, 6 songs.
Each one more uplifting than the last.
Anderson also shares, "I believe that I've been blessed with a gift, not a talent, but a gift. And it's my responsibility to share this gift with as many people as I possibly can. And that gift is producing groundbreaking, thoughtful, and funny television."
All right! Hold on, croissant. All right, around here, we say grace first. All right, Zoe, lead.
I don't know if I feel comfortable leading grace when I'm not sure if I believe in God.
At number 2.
We got a special guest in the building.
My guy,
Pastor Carl
Yes,
Lentz.
sir.
Welcome back.
Pleasure to be back, my brother.
Hillsong, New York pastor Carl Lentz is chatting up his new book, Own the Moment.
It says, make the most of what you do have. Don't be so fixed on the future that you miss the power of the present. Why is it so hard to focus on the now, Pastor Carl?
I think people need hope right now and reminders that, we can't do a lot about a lot, but we can do something about what we have, in our hands right now. And that's why I wrote it, because I think, these are frustrating times.
Often dubbed Justin Bieber's pastor, Carl's new book, Own the Moment, is out this week.
And that leaves only one more headline in the countdown. I'll Push You tells the remarkable true story of 2 best friends who embark on a 500-mile hiking journey in Spain. The twist? One of them is in a wheelchair. That story is this week's Studio 5 Bright Spot.
If you have those moments in your life where you just know inside and out it's something you're supposed to do. I just knew.
For Justin Skisuk, it would be the epic adventure he and lifelong friend Patrick Gray had talked about for years. A 500-mile trek on the legendary El Camino de Santiago. Roughly 250,000 hike the trail every year, but very few do it in a wheelchair.
And I said, "Hey, do you want to go across 500 miles in northern Spain with me?" And his answer was, "Yeah, I'll push you."
I didn't have any other thought than, yeah, I'll push you, because we've just shared so much of life together, and it was just one more opportunity to build more memories.
In 2004, doctors diagnosed Justin with an autoimmune disease that has slowly robbed him of his motor skills and will eventually take his life. It's left him dependent on his wife, Kristen, for care. But Patrick didn't give it a second thought.
We didn't think about the challenge. We had no idea how difficult it was going to be. It was just, okay, the decision's been made. It's important to him, so it's important to me. We'll figure it out.
The hike is a 5-week trek through the mountains, rivers, and desert. Training and preparing for the trip would take 2 years. Overcoming the doubt would take prayer.
Pat would be completely freaked out. I would be more calm and just kind of like, okay, we're going to get through this. And then, I would be then freaked out, and then he would be calm. We've never prayed so hard, I think, ever, together.
In June of 2014, they said goodbye to their families in Boise, Idaho, and boarded their flight to Paris, along with a film crew, to document the journey and raise awareness for Justin's disease. 2 days later, reality set in as they made their way up the Pyrenees Mountains.
The trail consistently pitches one way or the other, and so we're always on a little bit of an angle to the right or the left, and so Justin's constantly having to move back and forth to shift his weight while communicating to me what he's going to see coming up.
Come on.
We had some very steep declines, and we had safety harnesses attached to me, and they'd have to, 2 or 3 people would have to get behind Patrick.
Stop, Pat. Pat, stop. I've stopped. Okay, back up. Back, okay.
My wheelchair weighs about 250 pounds with me in it, and the weight of gear and the chair itself and whatnot. So it's quite heavy, and it'll pull you straight down a hill.
Mechanical malfunction.
Oh gosh.
It's hard not to feel like a burden in this.
You got it? Oh, I'm cramping.
And I don't know how much time he has. You know.
It's really hard to let somebody do that for you.
But as only good friends can, they kept each other going.
Yo, what's up, bro?
The dynamics that we just embrace, vulnerability, accountability, really being honest with each other, kind of unabashed honesty about where we're at, what we feel. If we don't agree with something, just throwing it all out there and being okay, A, saying it, and B, being okay receiving it, has just created this dynamic that exists where there's no fear. There's no fear within our relationship, and that, I think, is where God has really been able to mold us into kind of one unit.
We both took our expectations off the table, and however that played out is however it played out. I just wanted to be there for him. God was with us every step of the way.
With God and the help of strangers, Justin and Patrick finished their pilgrimage in 35 days. They also grew closer as friends.
This whole journey has revealed to me the truth that we are so much better together than we are alone.
We're meant to live life together, and that's where God calls us to be. It's way more exciting, way more fun, pushes you in ways you never thought you could go or who you could be as a person.
So often, the beauty that God wants us to see is within one another. The opportunity for provision is in one another. The opportunity for experiencing God's love is through the love He's pouring into our wife or our husband or our children. It's community. It's embracing others and loving them in just a recklessly, passionate way.
Since their return, Justin and Patrick started Push Incorporated, an organization that helps groups and individuals achieve their dreams. They've also written their first book, inspired audiences as motivational speakers, and completed the documentary, aptly titled, I'll Push You.
You can see God at work. You can. You can see God at work right in front of us. When you ask God to take control of your life, hold on, because you're in for a wild ride.
I'll Push You is in American theaters November 2nd. Check out Studio 5's Facebook page to learn 5 things you may not know about the film.
Up next, here in Studio 5.
There are hundreds of thousands of veterans seeking help.
See why the film, Thank You for Your Service, is touching the hearts of real-life American heroes.
It's based on real people's lives. It's really a love letter to our veterans.
Welcome back to Studio 5. We have made it to the final headline in this week's countdown of the best in uplifting entertainment news.
At number 1.
What sparked this idea to work on a gospel album?
It's always been on my heart, man.
Studio 5 shared the news of Snoop Dogg's plan to produce a gospel album months ago.
Happy Sunday. Working on this gospel record.
We can now report it is nearing release.
Say, man, this gospel record. Whoa.
And the rapper is previewing some of the songs online. He's getting rave reviews from gospel legends like Fred Hammond, who've heard and worked on the project.
And when I heard it, I was surprised because the hook is just calling on Jesus over and over. And my heart got glad and I talked to him and I felt his heart.
That wraps the countdown and brings us to what's playing in theaters right now. Thank You for Your Service is the story of coming home, specifically American soldiers returning home after serving during the surge in Iraq in 2007. It's playing in American theaters right now to rave reviews for its honest portrayal of bravery and sacrifice. If you haven't seen it, you may want to check it out. Here's your first look.
Hey, stay off the streets, all right?
I'm back in the sand in 3 months.
It's not what I said. I was very honored to be in this film because it's such an important story. It's based on real people's lives. It's really a love letter to our veterans.
This is 1-1, we were clear on building 20. Building 20 is green.
2 Army Commendation Medals.
Man down!
An Army Achievement Medal.
Hang on, Emery, I got you.
Impressive.
You never told me about those.
Is there a specific incident that troubles you?
This film is about 4 guys who served in Iraq and what it's like to try to fit back into society.
You kick some ass over there?
Yeah, man.
Coming back home, you can't even find a job. I just want to get back to my unit. You feel more at home out at war, next to your brothers. I don't belong here.
You trust me?
I got you.
By untangling these characters, we can understand the lives of these soldiers and the reality of what they went through.
My boy here fought his ass off.
Yeah.
All right, he did his job. Now do yours. Jason wrote American Sniper, which was a very poignant film. He's so well-versed in this world, and you can just tell that the guy's done his homework.
The fact that we have real people that went through this adds a weight and an importance to the work that we're doing, that we get it right.
Don't even feel like me anymore. It's the best research any actor can get, to just be surrounded by the people you're playing.
Solo, Amanda, Adam, they have been so generous in the way that they have shared their stories.
That's the heart of this thing. These actors are tapped in, and they're tapped into each other. We can create something beautiful.
There are hundreds of thousands of veterans seeking help.
Sometimes movies can be used as a platform to where you can put some real things out there.
We're presenting something that is very honest, and we're putting it right in the front and center.
I know this don't look like much of a life, but every morning I get up, I'm grateful. I'm alive because of you.
I hope that it will be the catalyst that slings this issue to the forefront of America. There is a light at the end of that tunnel, because we're all in it together.
Thank you for looking after my son over there.
He's my brother. We look after each other.
And thank you for your service. It's in American theaters right now, as we told you. You also want to check out our Facebook page for 5 things that will likely surprise you about the film and this story.
Still ahead on Studio 5. Fresh from his second appearance on the Harry Connick Jr. Show. Caleb Serrano is taking a seat in Studio 5 for the final word.
And welcome back. We are almost out of time for today's Studio 5, so let's look ahead to what we're working on for next week.
It's the wise men. Hide quickly.
It's the story of the nativity, but from the animal's point of view.
Mary needs help. We need to save her.
People are going to love it. I mean, it's about the birth of Jesus, but you see it through the animals.
Almost down. One more chasm.
Uh-oh. Keegan-Michael Key and Stephen Yun and Adie Bryant from SNL and Oprah and Tyler Perry and Tracy Morgan.
Deborah, are you okay?
All of these incredible talents wanted to be a part of telling this story and introducing it to this new generation.
Run for your life! Get out of the way!
Here's a little well-placed distraction.
Be sure to join us for that and so much more next week. Right now, it is time for the final word, and today we're hearing from our friend Caleb Serrano, the pint-sized worship leader, with a grown-up lesson on how you can conquer your fear.
Joshua 1:9, and it says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go."
Like that. Very nice. And is it easy to memorize all these Bible verses?
It's pretty much easy.
Why is it so easy for you?
Because you have to keep it in your head.
Mm-hmm. So you got a lot of verses in your head?
Yeah.
Can you give me another one?
1 Corinthians 13:4. Love is patient, love is kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. 1 Corinthians 13:4.
Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Thank you, Caleb. That is a great final word for this edition of Studio 5. Until next time, reach out and touch me at Ephraim Graham on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. And then you come on back and see where Studio 5 takes you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.